Athens is one of the great college towns in America. I mean, you can't pick where you're going to live in our profession. You don't have that choice. You take the job where I get to live in Athens, man. It is really a special place, and certainly all of our alums feel that way. We've had 4 kids on campus that we've offered that are rising seniors. They've all committed to us. So either I got really good at recruiting, which I'm not so sure that happened, or Athens is really easy to sell.
I was talking to Coach Solich about this, about different approaches to recruiting. Because Coach Solich, as I alluded to earlier, he doesn't know what the nay even is. You seem like the kind of guy who is hip to that sort of thing, pop culture savvy.
Yeah.
How is it that both those approaches can work in sports?
Well, you got to recruit to your style of kid. And just like there's all kinds of coaches out there, there's all kinds of kids out there too. You know, it's funny, people like to say, oh, coaching has changed so much. Kids have changed so much. No, but I do think you have to recruit to your personality. I like being around my kids. I like being young with my guys. So it's you know, Coach Solich has done it for so long. You know, he's been in coaching for, I want to say, 47 years of his life. You've seen everything. You've heard everything. I've been in 17 years. That's not doing too bad. But at the same time, in those 17 years, I figured out what kind of kid will be attracted to what my approach is. And you'll find those kids out there. They're everywhere.
Do you need to?
No, it's no problem.
So much of that time was spent with the Bisons. Just how tough was that to leave?
It was extremely tough. I mean, you're talking about lifelong friends. 10 years at North Dakota State is a long time. Now, that's 10 winters too. So I'm can't wait to giggle in January when everybody's complaining about the cold in Athens. It's going to be, I'll be wearing short sleeves, but it is. It's tough to leave. It's tough to leave a group of guys that you absolutely love. We had 5 seniors on that team, so those guys were leaving anyway. I didn't miss it. But the underclassmen, to have a group achieve their wildest dreams, goals, aspirations under your tutelage, I won't be strangers to them. They graduate, they can come visit me. They'll like Athens, I promise you that. But, you know, 10 years in this profession is a blessing to be any given place. It doesn't happen that way. I want to say the average coaching tenure of a Division I head coach is 4 years. So I was there an eternity. It was great. I had a blast. Makes it a lot easier when where you're going is Athens. It really does.
How many times have you ever Googled yourself?
I did actually do that. After the NCAA tournament, so much had been going on that I didn't have a chance to really enjoy it. And, you know, everything from, I was on Saturday Night Live for this little skit thing they had there. I had to catch up, and I had to catch up in a hurry. The only way I could do it is Google myself, and I found out that there's a Saul Phillips out there that's apparently a very wealthy tuna magnate in Japan. So that was what I learned primarily. But yeah, I have Googled myself before. Yeah, it was interesting. Let's just put it that way. It was fun.
The reason I ask is because when I do that, I get all these videos of you being emotional and really fired up. That's not going to change, right?
Do I look like I'm slowing down? No way. I'm excited about this. I'm an emotional guy. I'm an excitable guy. I'm actually not a screaming lunatic on the sidelines. That probably is a little. They've taken clips of some pretty good moments there. It's not like the first jump ball. Yeah, we won the jump. It's not going to be quite that crazy, but I have energy. I'm not afraid to show it. I bring in kids that have energy, and they're not afraid to show it. We're not watching golf here. We're watching basketball, and I think the Ozone, certainly our student section, they're an excitable group too. I think we're going to get along just fine.
Now, I'm a basketball official. I probably should have prefaced the question about your energy level.
No.
You talk about being respectful. How tough is that for a guy with your emotion level to do? You know,
it's actually funny that the MAC conference officials also work the Summit League. So it'll be the same group of guys. You got to be respectful for the job. The job another coach has. You don't want to show them up. Listen, we're all in this game because we love the game. We should be able to find some common ground beyond that. As far as the officials go, I've had 3 technicals in 7 years, and one I didn't deserve, and I want to talk about that. No, one I didn't deserve. one I definitely deserved. I was at Williams Arena where the Gophers play in Minnesota, and I threw my sport coat into the stands. I tried to explain to the ref afterwards that my daughter had dropped her drink, and I was just trying to give her something to wipe it up with. But
Didn't buy it?
no, that didn't. He giggled at it. Listen. We're all in this together at some point or another. We can find common ground, even with a referee.
I like hearing that. Now, our listeners are going to be real familiar with two of your influences. I'm assuming they're influences of yours. Tim Miles and Bo Ryan.
Yep.
What did you take from those guys?
Well, I was with Bo 5 years as a player at UW-Platteville. I played Division III primarily. Primarily because there's not a Division IV. That's why I played D3. I mean, his son's on my staff. The influence there is obvious. With Tim Miles, he's pretty wacky himself. I think from him, the biggest thing I took away is you can be yourself, even if it's not cookie cutter for a college coach, and your style can work. Miles and I had an absolute blast together. It's a miracle that both of us didn't get fired at some point during our careers, but we had an absolute wonderful time at North Dakota State. And I've been really happy to watch him grow into what he's grown into, because he's a media monster now, and he's big.
Yeah, he tweets during games. We love that as reporters.
He's telling his SID to tweet. I want to clear that up. Miles lies, but actually he doesn't even lie about it. He tells the truth. He walks by his SID, tells him what to tweet, and then tweets it. Now, you better trust your SID in that situation, because you gave him access to the account there. Treat your SID well in that situation. They got a lot of power.
Speaking of a lot of power, it seems to me that you've handed over a lot of power to opposing MAC coaches in that you've got 2 instructional videos out there. Do opposing coaches ever watch that kind of thing? Have sales of those videos skyrocketed in Athens since you've
I haven't got my royalty check lately. If there's a big spike, I'll know that there's some more people watching it. But yeah, I think, first of all, they were both taken at clinics that I did. I don't remember particularly what I said. Hopefully it didn't get me fired at my last job, so it probably won't get me fired here. Secondly, I'm not real worried. I don't think it's a terrific video and you should buy it, but yet I don't think at the same time it's going to give anybody, we study each other a lot. They know what we're going to try to do. We're not trying to trick anybody. We're just trying to execute better than anybody else. And, like I say, maybe they'll have a little better beat on me, but I'll also have like an extra 75 cents in my bank account, because that's the royalty I get off it, I think. So.
Did you say you were on Saturday Night Live?
I was.
What was the deal with that?
There was a skit, predictably, called NCAA Tournament Best of the White Guys. And it showed clips of white college players turning the ball over or making a solid fundamental pass. And it was a parody on the tournament. And they said at some point, and then they graduate and become college coaches. They showed the picture of me doing the Bison Horns thing at the end of the game. So, yeah, all of this wonderful stuff has happened. I got a call from Charles Barkley after the game. Yeah, a lot of stuff went on, but I think being on Saturday Night Live, that gives me some real street cred, even if they were poking fun at me. But who don't they poke fun of, right?